Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video for you all today. So today I bring you guys loot from 3,000 warped jellies, a very AFK-able monster to kill in the catacombs of Corsair. And just like last video, this video was done on the side on one of my alternate accounts. So a big shout out to Pizza Masters. You know, I was rocking the most AFK-able prayer gear setup that I could the whole entire video from start to finish. So that way I didn't have to pay too much attention to the screen or anything like that while I was on my other accounts. And just like always, all the kills were tracked through the Slayer Helm log from 0 to 3,000 because this is considered a Slayer monster. And overall, this video did take over 40 hours to do, 30 hours roughly for killing the jellies and over 10 hours of doing hard clue scrolls. Even though I was trying to use RuneLite for portions of this video, you will see that mostly every single clue scroll clip that I did get the casket on was on the normal client. If there was ever a time where I'd get a puzzle box step, I would jump on RuneLite and pretty much just use that to solve the puzzle in a matter of seconds rather than spending like 5 to 10 minutes. But for the most part, I did stick with the original client for this video, and this will be actually the last video that you guys see that's probably not using RuneLite. Although I do still have one Iron Man video to upload that I think is using the old client as well, but just want to say a big shout out to RuneLite in general, because without that, I think this video would have taken much longer than it already did, mainly just because of the crazy amount of hard clue scrolls that we did get through this video. So you will see at the very end, I did leave a pinned comment as well as a spot in the description below. Redirect you guys to the casket opening, which does account for a decent amount of this video because there's just so many caskets at the very end, which I was really happy about because, you know, like I mentioned before in a few videos ago, this account almost does have a quest cape and it has so many things unlocked. So it can pretty much do almost every single master clue step. The reason why that's good is because all the master clues that I did get from this video I am saving, and I'm going to be doing loot from 100 master clues in the very far future. If I had to guess, probably 6 to 8 months from now. Other than dropping a lot of clue scrolls, let's talk a little bit about what these warp jellies are all about. They did come into the game June 9th, 2016, my personal favorite year of all time. And essentially these warp jellies are a bigger and badder version of the normal jelly, which was released into the game January 26, 2005. Now both of these jellies do require 52 Slayer in order to kill them, and these warp jellies can be assigned by Konar, Sheldar, and Vanica. The combat stats on these warp jellies are 95 attack, 90 strength, and 70 defense, as well as 95 magic. However, you don't need to be praying magic here. As you can see, pretty much throughout the whole video, I was just camping pray melee with an SGS. Ceradome and Godsword's definitely the best spec wep that you can bring for Slayer in general, but especially when you want to AFK anything in the catacombs, especially warp jellies. Using it there to rejuvenate your prayer points is really useful, and that's also why I went with a Nezi helm as well as the Proselyte and the Bone Crusher necklace, which isn't the greatest as it goes for offense bonus, but it's really good for prayer bonus. Alongside this, although I wasn't really making the longest trips happen because I would get so many clue scrolls, and as soon as I got a clue, I would instantly teleport out and just get right to it. And sometimes I would return, and the very first kill of the next inventory would be another clue scroll, and that would be expected because that happened numerous times during this video. But if there ever was a trip where I wouldn't get a clue, which I think that happened maybe a total of 2 to 3 times throughout all the trips in 3,000 kills, then I would always bring one super combat so that I would hit pretty high with the whip, and I wasn't using bandos or anything like that. And alongside that super combat potion, I was bringing just about 15 full prayer potions every single inventory. And all those prayer potions and super combats will be accounted for in the final price check, just to deduct the supply cost for this video, which isn't too much to be honest. Now, if you are a low level Iron Man or a low level account and you're really only training range, then you can safe spot these jellies. And if you're someone who's just a main and you're just looking to finish this task as quickly as you can, then you can also stack them on top of each other, pretty much doing the same thing that you would do at Necreals or Dust Devils. And you can use magic here. Magic is actually really accurate here as well. So it's really up to you on how you want to do this task, whether it's safe spotting, whether it's just using a whip and a basic setup like I was doing and just AFKing the whole thing, or if you want to be really efficient and bring out the Ice Barrage or the Ice Burst, whatever you want to do. There's so many different ways to kill these things, and I think that's what makes it a pretty popular Slayer task among people. Now, one other benefit of killing these warp jellies rather than the normal jellies, although they are higher combat and take a little bit longer to kill, is that you do get more XP for it. And of course, since it is in the catacombs of Corsair, you do get ancient shards and all of the totem pieces individually, which can be converted into dark totems. So it's kind of a win-win, you know, not only do you get a lot of clue scrolls, but you also get to charge your arc light with all those ancient shards, and you can stack up dark totems over the course of being either on task or off task. And eventually, you know, you can make a Scotizo video if you ever want to do that, or if you just want to kill Scotizo in general and get the pet. So, you know, multiple benefits from killing anything in the catacombs rather than outside of the catacombs. So we really haven't touched too much on the drop log yet, you know, other than of course the hard clue scroll, which is only a 1 in 64 drop, so it's pretty understandable as to why we got so many during this video. If you're curious of the ancient shard and the dark totem pieces, the totem pieces are 1 in 360 for the base, the middle, and the top. And although you can stack up multiple pieces in the bank, I was trying to make a dark totem every single time we got each of the 3 pieces. Just figured it makes for some good clips. And the ancient shards I just pretty much stacked up as well. I think we started the video with a total of 7 totems in the bank and 10 shards. So at the very end, we'll just kind of have to minus those from the overall amount to see just how much we got per each of those. But I am really happy to get as many totems as I can because I do think that this will account for a good Scotizo video. Just like I said for the master clues, you know, something far in the future to look forward to. And of course, there is tons of coin drops, so a Ring of Wealth is almost required here if you want to collect them all from start to finish. And I would recommend that, seeing as, you know, there are some junk items on the drop table that I did look forward to high-alking. For example, the black two-hander as well as the adamant battle axe. So the Ring of Wealth alongside all the high-alking will make for a really nice coin stack, especially if you're an Iron Man, which can come in handy for later on things. But there were other items that I did just want to collect over time, so, you know, all the mithril boots, all of the Addy two-handers, and of course the rune items, the kite shield, and the full helm. I did collect, and I do think it looks pretty nice when all of them stack up over time in the course of these 3,000 kills. Something pretty strange about the drop table for warp jellies is that the rune full helm is actually a 1 in 128 drop, and it's only worth 20k. The rune kite shield being 32k is 1 in 64. So it's kind of a difference between the warp jelly and the normal jelly, is the normal jelly only drops a rune full helm and the warped one actually drops multiple rune items. So it's a little bit more profitable obviously to kill these. Like I said, requiring 52 Slayer and 140 Slayer XP per kill, they are a pretty good task. And although a lot of people will bring some Carol's armor here or D-hide because their attack is magic based, I do want to stress that you just have to pray melee here and you won't take any damage. However, if you're not going to pray melee here, maybe you just don't have any prayer potions in the bank or you just don't want to waste any money, I would recommend you bring Carol's armor or black D-hide. That is recommended in the wiki. So if you are going to be killing a lot of these jellies, the recommended items would obviously be a gem bag because they do drop sapphires, emeralds, rubies, and diamonds, and they will stack up over time. And of course, if you're going to bring high alks like I did, you know, those coins will add up as well. I would recommend a rune pouch with just fire runes and nature runes. And if you do intend on doing all the hard clue scrolls just like I did as well, and obviously be ready for a lot of teleporting and a lot of spade digging because there is a ton of clue scrolls with this video. I honestly don't think any other monster that I will kill in this series will give me as many hard clues as this video did. At one point I was actually thinking of saying screw the clue scrolls in this video, let me just save up for 100 hard clues and do loot from 100. I really think that that's kind of an amateur number for clue scrolls that are below master tier. So you guys will eventually see loot from 1,000 hard clues. Don't know when that's gonna happen, but you know, we're gonna save that for the future, I guess. Getting back to the drop table, you know, they do drop unnoted lobsters, so if you are a low level, you can eat those and they will give you some HP up over time. You can also expect some gold bars, some thread, a little bit of death runes, and of course chaos runes. Very similar drop table to the normal jelly, but again, these are in the catacombs, so the drops are a little bit more buffed, as they should be, seeing as you are going to be spending more time killing these rather than the lower level ones. And if you are on a Konar Slayer task, the drop rate for a Brimstone key here is 1 in 97.6. And a few strange drops that I did get over time, of course, would be the Loop and the Tooth keys, as well as the Rune Javelin and the Rune Spear. I do believe the Rune Spear was the rarest drop of them all, which was 1 in 3,900, and the Rune Javelin being 1 in 2,080. Well, now that I've explained as much as I possibly could have about the warp jellies, we are almost ready to do the price check. You know, as you can see in the bank tab right before this clip, we did have a staggering amount of clue scrolls, and yet again, we still had one to do in the inventory. This kind of really sets the tone for just how many clues you can expect. But yeah, looking at the Slayer kill log, starting at 0 and ending at 3,000 warped jellies have been completed, and the price check was done a little bit differently this time. I did actually open all the clues because I just couldn't wait any longer, to be honest. I've been keeping them for so long. And then we did the price check for the normal loot just by simply taking a screenshot of it before we opened the caskets. But yeah, overall, from 3,000 warp jellies, we did end up with 57 hard clue scrolls. So we are going to start opening them right now, and just keep in mind, anytime that you guys saw a master clue in these clips, I literally had to pause, do the master clue. I pretty much did it on Rune Light, so it wasn't too much of a hassle. And then I would come right back to the fishing guild and start opening them again. Just by the first couple caskets, you can kind of assume just how crazy I was going because of the insane amount of master clues. I mean, I was just dumbfounded at one point. I mean, it was taking me so long. This video would have been uploaded like 3 days ago. The master clues really did take a toll. Luckily, this account, before I received it, did have all the stash units completed and pretty much the OP portal nexus, so it was very easy to do them, but again, just getting so many. The drop rate for receiving a master clue from a hard clue is 1 in 15, but it seemed to me like it was 1 in 5, at least at the very start. Now, luckily, I did go on a pretty dry streak after I did like 5 masters in a row in the first 15, which was ridiculous, because if it would have kept at that pace, this video would have taken a long time, and yeah, I was just kind of losing my patience towards the end, as I'm sure you can imagine. But yeah, certainly did get a lot of nice rewards from these hard clues. You know, this account really did have 0 hard clues before I started the loot series on it. All the clue scrolls that it did have accounted for were basically just from the old Wyvern videos that I did do. Of course, the Muddy Key video didn't really give me any hard clues. Yeah, I actually was kind of really adding up all the hards, and we did actually manage to get over 100 hard clues overall completed in this video. As you can see, we still have 33 left to open, and we were getting a lot of uniques, a lot of rewards that were over 200k. I would say my luck was pretty on point, definitely above average. Of course, we had to stop for that master clue as well, you know, insert the cry emote there. But yeah, we got right back to it, started opening them again. Had a lot of ornament kits for a lot of different weapons and jewelry in the game that I didn't even really know had ornament kits to it, as well as a few uniques like dragon masks and of course the pages. A lot of teleports that were pretty consistently expensive as well. A lot of black d'hide and a lot of alkables. Don't worry, again, I know that we're going to get a lot of rune kite shields and rune full helms from this. But like I mentioned before, you know, there was a screenshot taken right before all these caskets were opened, so we didn't get any of this mixed in with the jelly loot. It was kind of an amateur mistake on my part, though. I should have just price checked the jelly loot in the very beginning, but my patience was pretty much gone at this point anyway. And you know, I'm still waiting to see third age from these clue scrolls, if not on the main or the Iron Man. Maybe this account can bring me some luck, but it doesn't look like we got any for this video. So yeah, all the caskets have been opened. Now it is time to do 2 price checks, you know, see how much we made just from the clue scrolls themselves, the hard clues, and then we are going to go ahead and price check the jelly loot, see how much we made. Alright, so the very first clue price check, this is all the alkables, the pages, a little bit of the ornament kits, as well as the glory tea and some nature runes. Comes out to be just about 4.5 mil. Now we have the second clue price check. Obviously the best reward in all this was the Ceridome and d'hide boots at 828k. Yeah, the second price check does come out to be just about 3.6 mil. Pretty good. On all honesty, I think that might be more than the jelly price check. So yeah, 8.1 mil made just in all of the 57 hard caskets. Now let's go ahead and bring out all of the jelly loot, all the rune kite shields, the rune full helms, the chaos runes, the death runes. 1 million GP, all from using the Ring of Wealth as well as the high alks. So the overall loot from 3,000 warped jellies does come out to be a staggering 3.8 mil, but we will go ahead and round up to 3.9. And it is good that we did the hard clue scrolls, because unfortunately the cost of the prayer potions and the super combats did come out to be just about 3.2 mil, meaning that we made just over 700k profit from the jellies themselves with an extra 8.1 mil from the clue scrolls. Also want to give credit to the 12 ancient shards we did receive and 3 full dark totems as well as 7 master clues. Decent amount of attack XP overall. I didn't calculate that, but I really wasn't doing this for XP. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, I know this was a long ramble, but feel free to leave it in the comments section below. I am going off to Florida now for just about a week, so I will see you guys after that. Also, feel free to leave a guess on my latest YouTube post for your chance to win 3 months of old school membership regarding one of my next loot videos. And with all that being said, I will see you guys next time, and until then, Mr. No Sleep out.